Oh, because it'll just go back and forth, back and forth. One's going to have an injury, then the next.
Welcome to Improving Parent-Child Relationships. In this episode, we'll be visiting with Stephanie and her family for a second time. Stephanie has been working on setting limits with Adrian, her 2-year-old, and Catalina, her 4-year-old. As we begin, Catalina has been playing with her milk, and Stephanie has asked her to put it in the refrigerator.
You can have it for dinner. Come on, let's save it for dinner. Come on. I think I see your face down there. Okay, Catalina, this isn't going to work. Come on.
Stop there for you, not too far in the tape. So there she is with her milk. There you are, pulling the other way. Tell us, what are you thinking about? Do you remember?
I'm thinking about how I'm going to get that cup in the refrigerator without making a mess all over the floor.
Yeah. Now, I can see from this that she is a pretty good objector.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she doesn't waste any time in objecting to what it is that you think you need to do. So is that what you mean kind of by the, you didn't use this word, but the kind of the moment of threat? I'm going to have to deal with who knows what.
Right.
Because she has this ability just to probably go down to the floor and fight for her case, right?
Right.
So she's formidable, but I think you're her equal match because here you are doing what you're doing. So it looks to me like you're pretty decided that the milk is going away.
Right.
Would that be fair? So now, she just hit you. Did it hurt?
No.
Well, but do you want her slapping you?
No.
Oh, so what are you thinking about right there? Do you remember?
I'm thinking about what it is I need to do.
Right.
What's the consequence going to be for her hitting me? Obviously,
Okay.
it's not going to be a knee-jerk reaction. So that's why
Right.
I'm kind of pausing here, thinking
Yeah.
about what to do.
And I think that's important because there's a lot of those little focal points with her where you have to decide, now, do I allow this a little bit, a little more, not at all? I mean, kind of what's your continuum? And as you think about it today, which may be different than how you thought about it then, what's allowed? What's the rule?
Well, there's not going to be any hitting.
There's not going to be any hitting. Okay, it's good you're real definite. I can see that on the rule.
Why don't you go play in your room for a little bit?
No.
Yeah. Come on.
No.
Come on.
No.
Come on. Catalina.
No.
I guess what I'm wondering is, are you saying what you're meaning?
No, probably not.
Okay. Now, again, because we're all better in retrospect, you know, nobody's that good on their toes, what do you want her to know about this?
Well, I want her to know that she's not going to be in the same room with me
But why?
because the way that she's acting, because she hit.
Okay. Do you think she knows she shouldn't hit anybody?
Oh, I think that she knows that.
Mm-hmm. I think she does too. What do you think would happen if you presumed she knows she's not supposed to hit and there's no point in talking about anything, so the minute she hits me in any situation, not just this one,
Mm-hmm.
she's gone without talking, she's simply removed. Now here's the expense. It means you have to put down what you're doing. I mean, whatever you're cooking gets slid over, whatever Adrian needs, those needs aren't met for a few minutes. I mean, there's an expense to this. Really, there is. But I think the reason that we make the expense is because we figure that in the long run I'm going to be spending less expensive time because I'm going to demonstrate this isn't going to be happening here.
Mm.
And there's no negotiating, no bargaining, no waiting around. And if the rule is going to be no hitting, then I think the response has to be pretty immediate and not angry. And like you were saying, I wouldn't hit her. I mean, it's not about getting ugly to her. It's about you just not allowing something like that happening to you. I don't know, tell me what you think about that.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
Be sure you mean what you say. Don't tell children what they already know. Act sooner rather than later on a reasonable rule.
We don't play with it.
Let's go to your room.
No. 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 No.
Did you see the little sister just hovering around? This is serious research for a youngest because they're sizing it up. This doesn't involve me, but I'm going to watch what happens here so that I know what my chances are for doing this. So every time that you intervene with one of them, you're really setting the tone for both of them. So I think about this as a 2-for-1 sale. Whatever you're demonstrating with one, the other sees. And that we can see that Adrian, who is how old?
She's 2.
She's pretty interested in observing things at 2. Said you're going to be in your room a little bit. Okay. Now what I want to ask you about okay is, what are you asking her then?
I guess I'm asking for her permission for her to be in her room.
Really?
I think it was mostly for sympathy, kind of giving sympathy maybe.
Yeah. Why would you, well, I guess first of all, I mean, it's your decision, I guess, but why would you want to give her some sympathy? I think it's a natural enough impulse, by the way. You're a really decent person. I mean, you are. But why do you feel you would want to give her some sympathy?
Just because she's crying, probably.
Isn't that sad? I mean, it is sad. And I think in life, sympathy is not a bad thing. There are times when it's really appropriate to be sympathetic with someone. And you certainly don't want to be mean to her. I mean, but on the other hand, she hit you. She's being taken away, and you're supposed to feel sorry for her. I don't know that I'd overly worry about asking her for permission for something when she did what created the consequences, or feeling too sorry for her, because she definitely has the option of not doing it.
Right. I think if I would have done like you suggested and just taken her straight to her room, then like you said, I don't think that it would have gotten to this point, and I probably wouldn't be drying her tears and asking her permission to sit in her room.
Well, you know what that is? That's the human learning curve, isn't it? I mean, it's, as you kind of go through things and you see some of the futility of your own effort, you tend to shorten it up and shorten it up and shorten it up because you get good at predicting where you're going. And I think that when we aren't good at predicting where we're going, it's because we're not paying attention. And I think you're really paying attention to this kind of thing now. I mean, you won't be cruel to her or mean to her, but I think you are going to end up being pretty definite with it.
It is not necessary to ask children's permission when applying reasonable discipline.
What are you doing? You're supposed to be in the room. You're supposed to be in the room. Go sit in your room till I tell you you can come out, please.
And I get to brush my teeth again.
You get to brush your teeth after dinner.
My teeth is all best and now it's all pink.
Okay, do like I asked and sit in your room until Mommy says you can come out, okay?
The reason she's in the room is because she hit somebody. You. Right? And so the situation is that the consequence of being aggressive with people is you're not going to be with them, right? That's why she's been removed. So the kind of phrase, and I think this is a refinement, you need to be in your room until Mommy says you can come out, I think makes it very personal between you and her in terms of, I'm telling you to be in your room, she's demonstrated to you you can get out. I'm telling you again, you need to stay in there until Mommy says you can come out. And I think it sort of makes it you pitted against her from her point of view.
Right.
I don't even know that you mean it that way. I think you're just trying to do what you're trying to do. But I'm thinking about how she may hear that kind of thing. So to place it in the situation, I think it would be, it's not time to be out yet, if it really isn't. Because then it's placing it on the situation, and we're back with the reason she's in the room is because she did something, the consequence is being away, and it isn't time to come back yet. And I think that makes it not so personal and a little less likely that she's going to take you on about, well, I'm not going to be where you tell me to be.
Right.
What do you think about that? It feels like it's just a hairline distinction, and yet I think it makes an awful lot of difference in how she looks at it.
Right. I think it definitely puts the consequence that I am making the punishing her, basically,
Yeah,
rather
right.
than
And I don't think
the
that's
consequence of the action is that.
Right, and I don't think that's how you mean it. It doesn't, I don't have the sense that you mean this to be punitive. You're trying to have some order here. But how she hears it is something else.
Focus on the situation rather than making it personal.
You can help me put the dishes away? Hang on just a second. We gotta let Sissy. Thank you. Thank you, sweetie. Yes, more? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
This is wonderful. Do you know that that's so wonderful? That you are allowing the opportunity for unskilled labor to assist you. I just recognize that it takes a lot of patience to do that. You could have unloaded this thing in much less time. Many of the things you include them in, you could probably do in much less time if efficiency were the issue. But if the relationship's the issue, you want to include her. It's really lovely that you do that.
Well, that's actually something that she came up with.
Yeah,
And it worked
idea.
out really well. So
Yeah.
so we tried doing that. I have a tendency to want to try and do things on my own and stuff like
Well, it's
that.
easier.
But in actuality, I found out that if they do some of the tasks in the house, then hopefully, one, they'll respect the things that are done in the house, and for two, they don't seem to argue or fight as much as long as
Right.
they get to participate a little bit more. So.
Yeah, and do you know why they don't argue or fight as much when they get to do these things?
Not
I-
really,
to me,
but
I think it's very important. For one thing, I think that they each get some time with you. There may be times when you do something with both of them together, but when you have a little time with each, then I think they don't have the feeling they sort of have to carve you up to get a little bit of you. I mean, so it's a feeling of doing something. It's very relationship building to do that. And your demonstration of willingness and respect toward them, which is very important. But I also think if you follow kind of the theory about why children misbehave, I mean, it's to get your attention. You know, you're doing the dishes and they're kicking up a fuss to pull you over here. If they've had some attention that is satisfying and goes well, there's just less of a need to kick up a fuss in general. So I think there's always a two-part thing going on. One is, what are you doing to withdraw from the struggle and handle yourself and not get into those struggles? And the other is the relationship building you do so that all this will be a lot less necessary from their point of view.
right.
So this is a wonderful thing that you're doing. I think you're doing more here than you may fully appreciate. But it's a good thing, and I know that it taxes patience to do this kind of thing.
Taking time to teach skills helps children feel included and strengthens a relationship. Positive attention reduces the likelihood that children will seek negative attention.
Good job. Do you want to do a big girl puzzle and let Sissy do hers?
Okay.
Which one do you want to do? Winnie the Pooh?
Yeah.
Where is our sweet, innocent youngest?
Oh, she's sitting on the table.
And I'm trying to remember from past times. Is there any rule about that?
Yeah, well, there was a rule.
Yeah. So the reason I bring that up is we've mostly been focusing on Catalina, but in the background we always have Adrian kind of watching for her spot, right? And here we see somebody who's doing what she knows she's not supposed to do. You think she does know she's not supposed to be on the table?
Yeah, I think that she's trying to get involved in what's going on.
She does know, and she is doing it. And of course, there's the story of an oldest child that probably if I were on the table, I would be told not to do it. And not only is she on the table and she isn't being told anything, but mom doesn't even see it.
Apply rules consistently with all children.
Is this milk?
Can we put that in the refrigerator and save it for dinner?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh.
Okay, we can pick them up as soon as we get them over in the refrigerator. Catalina, you're spilling your milk.
You can do your puzzle. And Mommy bought for you.
Catalina spilled the puzzle, but Adrian's helping pick it up.
Well, I think that Adrian just enjoys getting into Catalina's stuff, really. I think she was kind of excited,
Ooh,
that.
puzzles on the floor.
Yeah, now I can touch it.
That's good. So we have some reason to believe that Adrian might be kind of lusting after Catalina's puzzle, which is,
Right.
of course, the thing of a youngest. I always want what some oldest has got, because it must be important or the oldest wouldn't be bothering with it, right?
Right.
So this is a item of value, and if she's got it, I want it. Poor oldest, living in a world with these people after them all the time.
Put this on top. Not yet. Aiden, go do your puzzle. Go you do your puzzle. She's not doing her puzzle. Because this is my puzzle, right?
She's really trying here, right? I mean, she's got her puzzle and her sister's into it, and she's pointed out, you've got your puzzle, just leave my puzzle be. And for the moment, she is. And she tried to make an appeal to you, right?
Mhm.
But you were kind of staying out of it. For good reason, I suppose. Did you even hear? I mean,
Oh, yeah, I heard.
so you were making a deliberate effort to kind of stay out of those little spats, right? So
Right.
whose puzzle it is, okay. It's very hard for an oldest, yes? I mean, it's got to be a little...
These are my little pieces. These are little pieces. No, these are big pieces. These are big pieces, okay? Okay.
Oldest life. I'll try some logic. I'll point out that this is my puzzle and shove it aside, and then I'm going to tell you that you've got your own really great, wonderful musical puzzle over here. Let's see if we can get somewhere in that.
Ow! Mommy, it hurt me. Mommy, it hurt me.
Sorry to hear that, Kat.
She's making an appeal to you that this little person is coming up against me. Life is getting pretty hard, and now she's inflicted injury. Right? But you're still staying out of it. Why is that you're staying out of this?
Oh, because it'll just go back and forth, back and forth. One's going to have an injury, then the next one will, and then the next one will. And then what do? Sit there and say,
Yeah.
don't leave her alone, don't touch her. What's wrong with it? You know, this and that.
So you're just sort
Kinda
of
figured that
in
one
the
out.
background hearing the predictable crescendo. You know, you can kind of see where this is headed here. Okay. And guess who's up on the table again?
Hello. Hello. What's my big piece? Mama, she's having my little puzzles. These are big puzzles. Those are not your big puzzles. Aiden, look. This is your big puzzle. Look, this is.
For those who want to learn about sibling rivalry, this is pretty much it.
These are big puzzles. Mine. Mama, she's having my little puzzles.
Of an oldest that never get understood. Mine. Because nothing is mine in the sense that you get into everything, right?
Oh, yeah. And
So-
she does, too. She breaks all of her stuff, and I feel so sorry for her, but...
So you can appreciate here, I mean, I don't know, I'm not an oldest, but I can appreciate here the feelings an oldest might have is that maybe there are things and are times when I just could be by myself with my items and no sister. And so when you kind of think about the balance of sort of prevention and discipline, it probably would be very important for Catalina to know that there are times she can play without her sister.
Give older children time when they don't have to fend off younger siblings.
Mama, she's having my little puzzle.
Adrian, let's come over here and play with your puzzle. I want to see how you put it together again. Can you show me one more time? Let's stay off the table too. You can sit over here in the chair and do it, okay?
My puzzle piece. Mama, I can't do it. Yes, you can. Remember, I saw you did it already. Let's play with my puzzle now. No.
We can play together tonight. Hey.
That's my puzzle piece.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now I have to put it away. I'm so sorry. Sorry.
No, I
We
want to
play nicely. We have to put it
I
away.
want to play nicely.
Put it back in the box, please.
I'll play nicely.
Put it back in the box, please. Maybe we can try it again later. Maybe we can try it again later when we're not fighting over stuff. I'm sorry. Sorry it didn't work out this time. Maybe next time.
I bet at this point we could just divide the room in half. In the sense that the puzzle is going to be put up. That's what you're doing here, right? Is it fair to that oldest? Doesn't just break your heart. Story of her life. And she says, I was just trying to buy it. And there's the youngest just watching the whole operation back there. Lots of chances to live this over because there will always, it's a puzzle now, but tomorrow it'll be some other object and the dynamics will be pretty much the same. And here's Adrian pushing in and here's Catalina warding off and here they are. They each had a chance for an injury opportunity here. And there's quite a bit of coming and going on the puzzle. Is there anything that you would do differently?
Not that I can think of.
You want a suggestion?
Sure.
Do what you're doing right now on first wrangle. Because I think this is very much like the situation earlier with the hitting, that whatever you're going to do it pretty early. Be nice about it. I mean, I think you're being really nice about it. And you even said, I'm sorry. I mean, you were very heartful toward them. That's wonderful. And you're not angry. I mean, you're not. This is very nice. But I think maybe you could preclude yourself or save yourself some of the difficulty just by doing that earlier. And I think the reason that we start doing things earlier is the better we get at sort of seeing the ride to the dumpster with full sureness that that is where you're going to go if you don't do something. You get so you just don't really want to have that kind of misery going on.
Yeah, I guess I was kind of hoping they'd pull out of it a little bit, but
Yeah,
I guess they didn't end up pulling out of it.
I think that is what we
so.
do hope, and I think they live for that hope. And it's a little hard to know for sure because you always think, well, maybe it would have worked out, but I think by the time the ante is up a little bit and the whining kind of begins, you can be pretty sure this isn't going to work out hugely well. There are some fairness issues here for sure because how can you really know you're being completely fair? Especially if you're not, you're in the kitchen, you're somewhere in the house, other things are going on. You really can't be sure that you're being fair. And I think maybe as parents we're a little too hooked on things are fair because it's very hard to determine what's fair. They each had inflicted injury on the other. They each had tattled. I mean, I don't know. I mean, but I think a rule, one that is really simple, is real manageable. Like no fighting over toys or they're put up. And then you don't get into all the who this and who that because you could go on forever with that.
Right.
But I think they would decide they're not going to fight if they really want the item.
Right.
Just like I think they would decide they're not going to hit if it's really clear what would happen if they did. And I think that you're kind of in the misery-saving business here. Doing something early is really saving a lot. But you're doing it now. That's what I mean about you're absolutely on the right track. I think you just want to save some wear and tear on yourself.
Right.
Learn to recognize when children are unable to solve their own problems. When intervention is necessary, act sooner rather than later. Realize that concerns for fairness may get in the way of necessary action.
Mommy, it does not get off the table.
Catalina, play with your own puzzle. Let Sissy do her own, okay?
And she's trying to get my little puzzles again.
Listen. Come here. Sit down over here.
Oh,
I really, really want you guys to be able to play with your puzzles, but we have to play on our own puzzles, okay?
I want to play this puzzle.
Adrian, You play with your puzzles, sister play with hers. If you can't play with your puzzle, then you'll have to go sit in your room until Sissy's done making hers, okay? Good job. You did do it, huh? Give me 5. Give me 10. Give me 10. Good job playing by yourself with your own puzzles. You did it yourself, huh?
It's extremely successful, there are many, is that they did learn what they needed to. They did play with each other's, each to his own puzzle at the end. So that's what I mean by absolutely headed in the right direction. It might have cost you a little more to get there than you needed. That's what I mean about do something earlier and the puzzles get put up, because though you got to where you wanted to be, you paid quite a bit to get there.
Right.
So I'm kind of interested in you having a little less payment to make to get where you want to go. But I think we do see that you are effective. How do you feel? To me, it looks very good.
Yeah, it seems to be coming together.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some things that definitely need some work, but
Yeah. And that littlest on the table, how about her? Just every time she goes on. The reason I would pay some attention to that is I think, I don't know, maybe my son was about 15 when he said one day in a moment of grief, how come I had to follow all the rules, meaning himself, and that my sister pretty much did what she wanted and you didn't correct her? And I don't know whether that's true or not. I think sometimes oldest feel that way, that there are more rules for an oldest and I'm expected to follow them, and then she's over there just kind of doing whatever she wants. So I don't know, I just pay a little more attention. And again, I think when a rule is very clear and it's reasonable and you keep it simple and there's not much talking about it but follow through, I think you really can get to be effective about what rules are. The youngest child watches the oldest. We saw quite a bit of that here. The oldest one watches the youngest one too, and I think they're looking at the fairness of the situation. You can use these principles and skills to improve your relationships with children. Here are some of the main principles from this episode.
Taking time to help children learn how to contribute builds a strong relationship. Keep rules consistent for younger as well as older children. Older children need time when they don't have to deal with younger siblings. Recognize when children are unable to solve their own problems and intervene promptly.